Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Ola Prime's Market News Update. To start, we have a large list of fresh news coming from the White House regarding tariff policies this evening. Donald Trump announced he will keep the minimum reciprocal tariff rate at 10%, but also says that it is necessary and appropriate to modify the reciprocal tariff rates for certain countries. The White House also mentioned goods under the United States Mexico Canada Agreement are not subject to International Emergency Economic Powers Act tariffs. Donald Trump signed an executive order increasing tariffs on Canada from 25% to 35%, with the 35% tariff going into effect tomorrow, August 1st. Trump will also impose a 39% tariff on Swiss goods and a 15% tariff on goods from New Zealand. Furthermore, a senior U.S. official announced that small deficit nations will have a 15% tariff, and if the U.S. has a surplus with any country, the tariff rate for that country will be 10%. Lastly, the U.S. extended the Mexico trade deal deadline by another 90 days, and at this moment in time, there is no final decision on a deal with China. The US dollar held its ground against other major currency pairs today, while the equity indices struggled. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones sold off by 1%, and the Nasdaq traded downwards by 1.5% after a very bullish blowout in earnings from Microsoft and Meta last night. The Euro USD held steady today, up less than 0.1%, after trying to rally up to the 1.15 level. The pair is currently trading at 1.145. CAD USD had a small decline at 0.16% today, closing at 0.7233. The GBP USD pair closed the day at 1.3213 and down 0.2% on the trading session. The Swiss franc gained about 0.3% against the US dollar today and is currently trading at 1.238 against the US dollar. Lastly, the New Zealand dollar was about flat on the day after an attempted rebound during the session, currently trading at 0.5897 against the US dollar. Gold futures gained $15 per troy ounce in today's trading session and is currently trading at the $3,339 level as of this writing. On the other hand, selling pressure continued to mount on the silver futures contracts with about a 1% decline as of the close, but was down as much as 2.3% at one point during the session. On the cryptocurrency front, Bitcoin futures lost about $900 on the day, closing at $117,100. Bitcoin futures are currently trading at $116,210 as of this writing, and is now coming close to testing the low of its 3-week range of $115,670. After a 3-day rally of about $5 per barrel, WTI crude oil futures lost 92 cents per barrel today and closed at $69.34. Last but not least, on the docket for tomorrow's high-impact economic data releases, we have the U.S. average hourly earnings month over month, the non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and ISM manufacturing PMI data. Now, without further ado, it's time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. Let's get to trading. Hello, hello, Coach Tiger.
What's going
It's
on?
nothing much, my friend. I ran out of water. I forgot to fill my water filter, like Brita thing earlier, so I just have a bunch of warm water, and
Gonna
so
keep
now I
my
am
job.
waterless.
Are you parched?
So I'm already feeling parched after the last 5 minutes. But I
Yeah.
will hold up and get through it. But
Yeah. Get up,
how's your
get you
day
some
going?
water anytime. Yeah, anytime. How was my day? It was great. I woke up. I had to get up in the middle of my night because my maintenance guy was beating on my door.
Mhm.
I had a. I asked him to replace my blinds because they're the ones I had up there were the old type with the string to pull it up, lift it down, all that. And well, a string broke here about 2 years ago. So they came and they kind of rigged it up, and it worked okay there for a while. It came loose again. They rigged it again, worked for a while, came loose again. So finally, I just asked them, "Can you guys just please replace it? We pay a lot of rent here. We pay a lot for the amenities. I think I need some new blinds now." So yeah,
Good.
he came, and knocked on my door, and I put in the instructions to just enter. That I'd probably be asleep, but just come in anytime. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I woke up probably the equivalence of about 3 a.m. for most people.
Oh
But yeah,
boy, dude.
I was up for good. I had about 5 hours of sleep, so I'm good. Take me a nice
Yeah,
little
you
nap
know
after.
that's enough to get you through, but you'll probably be conked out when you go to sleep next. So I'm sure
Yeah,
it'll be a good night's sleep coming
yeah,
up.
we got that. Well, I got the manual one now to where you just lift it and pull it down. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot better. Don't have to
nice.
worry about the strings or hanging myself.
Yeah, for it. Beautiful. Yeah, man. My goodness. Dude, dang, these landlords, they got some nerve to just not replace that sooner than later. My goodness.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
are you
Well, this is
gonna
a
do?
fairly newer one, probably 8 years old, 9 years old. So no, they do a good job.
Okay.
They, they keep us
Awesome.
happy.
Good, good. Awesome. Well, did you have any setups today that were able to be executed, or I mean, it was a tumultuous day in the equity markets. I don't think it was as crazy when I was looking at the Forex pairs, but did
Mhm.
anything trigger for you or no?
Yeah, well, I'm still in that euro pound long position that I know I talked about last night. I think it was still in some drawdown actually on our stream, if I remember right. But um, as soon as the release came with the European unemployment rate, that helped it out a lot. It actually helped it kind of reverse course. So yeah, that was
Nice.
they had projected, what was it, 6.3% on their unemployment rate, but it was actually 6.2. So good number, and also the Italian preliminary CPI came out positive, which is, of course is in the euro camp, and their
Hmm.
monthly unemployment. So those three reports. Oh, actually, the German unemployment too. Now that I'm looking, so basically there were five. There were four yellow folder events. I'm surprised that their unemployment rate is shown as a yellow folder. You would think that would at least be an orange folder or maybe even red. But anyway, it was four good yellow folder events, and so
Hmm.
it just kind of helped it reverse course. So yeah, I'm up to close to 1-to-1 at the moment, 1-to-1 profit on it. So
Nice.
it's just kind of bouncing around, but yeah, I'm just basically banking on the euro strength and the pound, weakness to keep that thing headed back upwards now. So yeah, and then ever since the rollover, the intraday session rollover, it's just been going straight up. So looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've had a couple alerts hit, but they were attached to the euro, attached to the pound. So as always,
Hmm.
I try to just stick with one pair. I don't really like to double up risk on multiple pairs of the same currency. So it's kind of where I stand right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
decent unrealized profit going on.
Awesome. Earlier today, I found out. I was not aware. And then Coach Troy actually told me on stream. I was mentioning how I was looking to, during the quiet market session, start getting into trading like the futures for some of the major currency pairs, and that I generally like. The one that I want to trade the most was the Japanese yen to US dollar, um, but I would be down to look at the Euro USD and whatnot as
Mhm.
well, and like Canadian USD and stuff. And then Coach Troy was basically like, "Hey, by the way, there are micro contracts you can look into for some of those." And
Mhm.
I found out that at least on Project X here, they don't have the yen, unfortunately, the micro futures on yen, but they do
Mhm.
have the micro futures on Canadian, Euro, and GBP. So probably won't do the
Mhm.
GBP one, but I think I might be down. I might go into my practice account, not the One Step Challenge account. I might go into
Mhm.
just my demo, like practice and mess around a little bit and kind of get used to one or two of those pairs with you on these quiet
Yeah.
market sessions sooner
Yeah.
than later. I need to create some market profile charts for those pairs separately so that I can have some relative due diligence on them before getting started. But next week, maybe I'll take a trade or two in a currency pair or so. So
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
out.
Well, with you being a futures trader already, I would think that that would be a natural segue into currencies for you, is just, jump into some of these currency futures, because then you can kind of learn the behaviors of them, whichever ones are your favorite or whichever ones you decide to pick. And then once you've kind of figured out the way they move and the way they operate, then you could even look beyond that into looking at actual forex pairs, right?
Yeah,
Because obviously, when it
yeah.
comes to the currency futures, you're just dealing with the one currency. When you're dealing with
Hmm.
the actual spot forex market, like what I work in, you gotta balance two different economies, right? So it can be an interesting relationship to navigate. So yeah, I don't know a
Hmm.
whole lot about futures like you, so I would think that would probably be an easy natural transition for you.
Yeah, I
My
think
thoughts.
so too. I think it's my best bet for sure. I probably will only ever trade the futures of the forex pairs, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Um, and which is also just it's fine. It's just a different product for the same underlying is all. So instead of
Yep.
trading them essentially straight up as they are, it's just a relatively leveraged product that I'm deleveraging by trading the micros at least.
Yeah.
So so that'll be good. I think that's reasonable and responsible for sure, at
Mhm.
least in the beginning. So
Yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. I didn't even realize. I didn't even know that there was micros like what you're talking about. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, me either. To be fair, I I didn't know either. And then when Coach Troy said it, I'm like, oh, really? Like, I thought that I had looked because like normally with a lot of micro contracts, like actually we can just share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen real quick, make it a
Yeah, because
little
I mean,
easier.
I've got the currency futures on my watch list. I like to. I mean, I've never traded them, but I like to be able to watch and see where the levels are on that, and kind of compare it to the index itself, just the regular currency index. Just to look
Yeah.
at, support, resistance, supply and demand zones, and then use that information when I'm looking to trade that actual currency in a forex pair, just for
Hmm.
the confluence, so to speak. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and when like with the futures symbols, it's like forward slash and then six whatever the current, and then like E for euro, C for Canadian, whatever.
by the
Um,
way,
now, yeah,
go ahead. Sorry, I got a story to tell
and then
after that.
oh, okay,
Well, I
okay.
was just going to say, all I was going to say is, I'm so glad you said forward slash. I've heard so many people, I hear so many people call that a backslash. I'm like, it's not a backslash, it's going forward. You start from the bottom on the letters, and then typically, if you're finishing a letter, if anything, you go up. You don't go down.
Yeah,
So just had to throw that
yeah.
out there. That's always been a pet peeve of mine. I just thought it'd be a fun place to interject there.
That is funny. Like it definitely is a forward slash. So for
Yep.
sure, like that is genuinely wrong. If people are saying backslash, like it's
I
not.
had,
Like we can't be.
yeah. Well, I used to. It's funny because I used to date an English teacher, and she's like at the top of her game, like the top of her pay scale, and she was calling it a backslash. I'm like, what? Wait, what? You're the English teacher.
No.
You should know grammar and all of this, spelling, punctuation. So sure enough, we looked it up online, and I was right. And she kind of pouted. She was like, "You're right."
Because I mean, literally, there is a backward slash. Like
Yeah,
there is a backward slash and a forward slash. Let's call the
yeah,
forward slash a forward
yeah.
slash.
All right, good deal.
That's
I feel
funny,
better.
man. Yeah. So like when you look at like the ES, for example, it's like forward slash ES, and then you look at
Mhm.
the micro, it's MES, and it's M for micro. Makes sense. So
Okay.
with the futures, for example, on currencies, you do forward slash six, and then this whatever letter corresponds to the major pair for
Yeah.
to USD, and then you would think for the micro you'd do M6 whatever, so M6, and then you see A for AUD, E for
Mhm.
euro, and B for British pound.
Right.
Now there's no yen there, and I think what we were looking up earlier, we were trying to figure out if this platform had the micro yen, and I think it was like MYU or JYU or something like that. But whatever it was, it doesn't. We don't have it, unfortunately, on
I
Project
gotcha.
X, and which makes sense because I've always been looking for just the micro on the yen specifically. I never was looking for the others. So for whatever reason, when I was like typing in like whenever I would type in forward slash M6, I would always type in M6J without looking at the screen. And I probably just never saw the other pairs because I wasn't
So
paying
not the
attention.
mini.
But
You're looking for micro. Is that right?
exactly, I'm looking for micro.
Okay.
So likely if I'm going to be trade, and they don't even have Canadian micro. So it's only, I'll trade either probably the euro. I will for sure at some point be trading the euro. And then I don't know, maybe based on your recommendation, maybe the AUD or not, or the British pound you were talking about doesn't really move too much, right? Well, it can move, I'm sure, but
Well, yeah. Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
move.
It can. I think the Japanese yen, yeah, would be one of the easier ones.
Yeah,
My personal thought,
unfortunately.
but
Yeah, I wish I could. That's I mean that's my favorite one that I would love to learn, but I
hmm
can't do it at the moment. But so at least I'll start off with Euro USD probably and go from there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. There you
so
go.
yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I'm just going to be looking at today. I'm going to be looking again at NQ and gold. I
Mm.
do. There is actually a possibility to trade NQ, or a better possibility to trade NQ today after the big down day that we had.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the first thing I want to say is I would before we really get into any charts or anything is want to say hi to the chat. Hey charters, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it
What's
very
going
much.
on?
You looking to let us know if you're looking to trade anything tonight, or if you're interested in seeing any charts or anything tonight. And yeah, that goes for everyone, honestly. Just put in the chat, what you're interested to see in this quiet
Yeah.
market session, and we'll get to it eventually. So
It's a good time to do it when it's not so
definitely.
crazy, like the intraday, right?
Yeah, dude, it was so crazy today. I mean, it was bearish, it was very bearish relatively speaking compared to the last month of
Yeah.
trading. But
Well, Coach
and what's
Troy should have
crazy,
had a halo.
oh, I know, yeah. It's he had a really good day though. He I think he made like close to $500 or something on the day,
Yeah. Nice.
but he was even saying, he was like, I'm being way too cautious. He's like, I should be up like 4 grand, not
Yeah.
450 dollars. He's like, it's kind of absurd. This is like I'm doing good, but I could have been doing a lot better if I had just, you know, it just not felt like that there was a need to be conservative
Yeah.
today. So, but I also told him that I don't blame him for being conservative, because it's hard to not be conservative when Microsoft and Meta just blew things out of the water last
Yeah.
night.
That was
Um,
nuts.
yeah.
Nuts. Straight nuts.
So so to me, I was like, I don't blame you, man. Like at any point in time, something could have come out about just anything, and the rebound would just be severe and massive right in your face, and then you get stopped out of your shorts like at any point. But that's not what happened. It just constantly rolled over today, the Nasdaq being the worst of them. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure 90% of traders would be happy to change places with them, right? Making $500.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I had a I had a 90 I made $90 today on the micros, which I will take hand over fist on micros for sure. I mean, Sam was doing trader math. He's like, "Hey, you make that minis, that's $900." And I'm like, "Yeah, that is trader." Like, it's funny because it's like that's true, but also again, this is what we kind of say to traders is the way that whatever your position size is, you can't just immediately scale that up and say that's exactly how you would what the profit you would have gotten would have been
Right.
like, because we all we all handle like those moves with different dollar amounts. Unfortunately, just psychologically it happens.
Yeah.
You might have handled it differently with 10 times the position, let's just say. So
Oh, for sure. It starts playing
that's
head
kind
games
of,
with you.
oh yeah. um Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. It's just like going from a demo account to, okay. It's just like going from a demo account to just risking like a couple bucks when you very first, start trading. It's just a completely different world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I put live money on the line. Like, what the heck am I doing? Because I know that in
Mhm.
currencies, it's automatically going to be in the red, right? Because of the spread, whether up or
Yeah.
down. So that's there is okay, good. There is a lot to be said about the difference from, yeah, using a $500,000 demo account to going down to a, two, 3,000, $5,000 account and risking $5. Like it's a completely different world, and it'll shock everybody at first. But I tell people a lot. It's like when I was in sales, all the sales jobs I had, they told us in training. They said you're never going to sound any worse than you will on your very first call. So you might as well just rip the band-aid off, go and fall on your face, and then your second, third calls and beyond start getting better each time. So yeah, the same thing in trading. You're never going to be as freaked out as you are that first time you place that trade. So you might as well just rip the band-aid off and get it over with, because you just start callousing up, and then it just
I
becomes a
love
lot
easier.
easier. So yeah,
That is
and he
that
said it
is
just
such
like,
good. That's such good advice too. Like from that, especially in sales, like that is, man. Talk about making your employees feel like comfortable, like, or just like
yeah,
coming to reality quickly. Like that's, if I heard that, I'd feel like the weight lifted off my shoulders of that
oh
first
yeah,
call. To be quite honest, so that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it worked
Cool.
too. It just shifted everybody's mindset. I mean, I was already in sales for a long time at that point, but even me hearing it,
Yeah.
a seasoned salesperson was like, "Oh yeah, okay, good reminder. Thanks for
Yeah, that
that."
exactly. I can see like a 21-year-old kid like shaking in his boots, like never been a part of anything
Yeah.
really in his or her
Nope.
life, and yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, no, it's good
So,
stuff. Good stuff. All right.
well, I maybe I can just explain some levels maybe that I'm looking at, or I can just
Sure.
kind of right off the cuff here go into some levels that I'm looking at between the Nasdaq and gold. Um, I'll switch over to gold for now because I have other gold chart stuff up.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
be honest. I'd be interested to see how you would tackle a time like this after the markets went down all day, actually. So might help some
Oh
other
yeah,
people out there
I'm
too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I am more than happy to hopefully make some trades tonight and go through my process for sure. Now I haven't looked at gold in about it's been about 6 hours since I looked at gold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm just kind of looking at what the price action is doing at the moment. So it's just down a little bit, nothing crazy. There's just kind of consolidating slightly downwards at the moment compared to the equity cash close. But on my TPO profiles, I have the 3343 level as value area low. And right now, we have essentially broken through that very slightly down to the 3338 level. And we've bounced up to retest that value area low area. So part of me is in the short term here feeling bearish, like I should be getting short. Um, if gold was to push up a little bit more, I would be looking at it settling down at around 33.48, which was today's point of control. So roughly, I'll just put the blue line here. So that's point of control on the day, and then I'll put the other blue line at 33.44. So those are kind of my two levels that at the moment I'm looking at for sure. And then to the
Pops.
downside, yeah. And to the downside, we actually have a gap that hasn't been filled. Well, actually, the gap. Never mind. The gap I'm looking at is from the contract switch from September to December, which is why um, there's a gap on this chart. But I don't think there's an actual gap, so don't have to worry about that. But where I would be looking to the downside is roughly 33.33. So maybe I'll move another blue line here. Move one of these guys down to 33.33, which is point when I'm looking left on the chart, it's the next nearest point of control from the one of the last 5 sessions. So it's the nearest point of control from one of the last 5 sessions that I will look at possibly being an area of happiness and comfort for sellers and buyers. But it could also just plow through that and go down to the following day's
Of
point of
course.
control that I see at 33.12, which would be a massive dump. $30 per troy ounce in a 2 hour period would be pretty wild. So I'm not really expecting that large of a move. But yeah,
Massive.
so that's kind of the thought for gold. Just short term, I'm bearish and definitely looking for shorts. Unfortunately, the short opportunity was probably about 6 minutes ago, and
Yeah.
after doing that analysis, that would have been closer to the top of this range, where it was just literally triple top to the area
Triple top.
that I marked. Kind of quadruple topped in a way because it broke through, then tested here at
Yeah.
1930, came down, tested, and now we're dropping again. So we'll see. Maybe there will be an opportunity. I really hope I didn't miss one there, but we will move on to the NQ. Let me change my charts on the NQ real quick.
Ooh. I wonder if that zone looks.
And so today on the NQ, we closed at 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. On the futures closed at 23,330. And where we're trading at 23,315. So we're close to the bottom of the day. The bottom of the day was technically 23,300. That is, we wicked out at 23,300. So we're close to the bottom there. In the overnight here, though, we traded as low as 23,231. So that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Let me So why do I have this? Now I got to look at what my previous levels were here that I had. I think these are old levels. Yeah, that's makes sense. These are all old levels. Okay. Oop, I had a spaceship earlier today. Was
Yeah,
helping some of our was helping some of our fellow traders out.
good deal. Yeah, I like the
uh,
magnet one myself.
yeah, I
Good
used the
stuff.
spaceship because it was working yesterday for the gold trade that I made yesterday. So I was like, maybe it'll switch over to today's trading session and help some people out. But so yeah, value area low on the Nasdaq is also technically at the 23,310 level, which we are just piercing above at this moment. So maybe I look for a little bit more of a rebound. Maybe I look for a little bit of support, possibly in the 23,310 area. Look for a long, but this 5 minute or 30-minute candle here, I mean, it's on okay volume. I guess for the overnight, it's pretty decent, relatively speaking, for the past 2 hours, average volume of sorts. So might be looking for some longs, maybe. Uh, if we can get past here, let's go back to the 5 minutes. For this 50 period EMA, maybe we break through it, kind of consolidate over top of it, and then I can get long for a possible move up to like 23,400 or something. So
Mhm.
I think that's kind of going to be the plan of attack tonight, between the two. Uh, Nothing too crazy, to be quite honest, but
Yeah,
please give me an opportunity.
it's interesting because on my Edge Finder software, um, for the first time probably since I've had this thing, and I've had it a year now, but for the first time, it actually had gold listed as a bearish bias. That was the
Mm-hmm.
first time. I'm like, what? Because I mean,
That's
you don't
weird.
think about it. Yeah, but it's now just because it's bearish doesn't mean I necessarily want to go out and sell gold because I don't know. There's some things I just don't know that I feel the most comfortable selling. Gold's one of them. Gold and Bitcoin, things like that, where everybody and their cat and dog are trying to buy it. So, uh, gold obviously being one of the most popular things to trade. I mean, I see reports all the time where it's the most popular asset. So, um, yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm probably. I mean, even at that, it's like a minorly bearish, you know, bias. Actually, let me see if it even changed. I don't see it on my list at the moment. It might have already fallen off. Let me look. Okay, so gold.
That would
So it
be
was not -5 earlier and yesterday, but it's actually up to -3 now. So technically neutral now. I didn't realize it had updated
okay.
and changed. So yeah,
Nice.
it's just one thing I'm just going to stay away from at least for a while. Is gold. I mean, I put some
I don't
alerts
blame you.
further, but as far as possible shorting it, but I just I have not had the experience shorting gold. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't got to be interested in it right now.
I I mean, I don't blame you. Gold is a weird one to show. I agree. Like, especially with just the run that gold has been on. I mean, you can just
Mm-hmm.
say the run that gold has been on for the last, I don't even know, you could say 3.5 years or something. Like, I remember like 4 years ago when gold was trading at like 1,800 an ounce or a troy ounce.
Yep.
I was wheel trading it. I was selling puts on gold at like I think 1,600 an ounce, and then if I
Mm-hmm.
got exercised, I'd sell calls on it. So if I got the position on like the gold ETF GLD, so I'd sell puts on GLD. If I got exercise, I then sell calls. It would go up, exercise me out, and make a little bit. Sell a put. If I got exercise, then sell a call, and I just literally did that for like months. It was the
Yeah.
easiest trade I've ever done in my life because, like you were just saying, even at that point, I was personally my bias was I don't mind owning gold, like
Right.
why I don't mind owning gold, especially at the levels that it was like bouncing off lows of like 1400 or something at that point. I can't even remember honestly what the levels were, but I was just like,
Yeah.
I definitely don't mind owning gold. Like it's not some risky thing um, to own especially in like in a retirement account or anything. So yeah,
Yeah, just looking at it, it looks like it went straight sideways from like July of 2020 all the way until November of 23. So yeah, that's over 3.5 years of straight sideways action. That's the goal, right? Is
mm.
in options trading, you're wanting to just maintain it within a range. Isn't that kind of correct?
Yeah, for the most part. But let me let me see
In other
real
words,
quick.
you don't want it trending up or down. You just want it kind of bouncing sideways, right? Keep it within that range.
Yeah. If you're a premium seller, yeah, you just want premium to die,
Yeah.
for sure. So I agree 100%. Maybe it was even longer ago. 1 month. Let's look at the 1 month here.
I took
Ooh,
a
is it not gonna load the prices? Oh, dude, this is. I feel like I'm just getting old. I was thinking
well
back in
seasoned.
20. I was thinking back in 2019, not
Yeah.
2021. I was thinking 6 years ago. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that was 6 years ago. Jeez Louise, gonna have a heart attack. My goodness, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I took
So
a I took a 4 or 5 hour. No, I guess it was a full day. I took an options course, like it was like a 1 day thing, and yeah, that I can definitely see how that would be a little bit more of a challenge for me personally, anyway, to learn. For me, just comparing it to Forex or trading stocks, like that stuff was relatively simple to learn the basics. Obviously, the nuances took time to master and get good at. But yeah, I took that
yeah.
options class. I'm like, I feel like drinking. I was drinking from a fire hose
I
with all the
I
chords
genuinely
and spreads, or all those different things. Like, what the heck is all this? We got birds in trading now.
I yeah, man, I love derivatives products in general. Like I had a lot of professional experience with a lot of derivative products and yeah, I messed around with a lot of derivative stuff, but it was usually premium selling. I never was much of a buyer of the premium. I was usually a seller of premium.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I professionally dealt with like swaption stuff. I dealt with, I mean, swaptions, currency options. I dealt with exotic options like, binary options. And there's things called
yeah,
like knock in, knock out options, which are like options that a lot of institutional traders and investment management like firms will use between each other. There's a lot of cool stuff, but yeah, it is like drinking from a
it's
fire hose
intriguing
once you
stuff.
start
I
diving
mean,
into it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of my aim is to dig in more on options and obviously futures to become more well rounded. I don't want to just be a one trick pony, right? With Forex, and I guess you could say penny stocks too, but that's more of a
Mm.
personal thing, fun thing to do. But yeah, options, futures. I'm definitely looking at it in the not too distant
Hey,
future. Get more well
hey,
versed.
if the one trick pony is doing tricks that's making you a bunch of money, I wouldn't mind. So
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, I'm
yeah,
so fascinated by those markets is really why I want
yeah,
why I want to dig into it a little more. Just trading everything, even altcoins. I mean, I'm
curiosity.
interested in that for the future.
That's true. Same for me too, actually, with altcoins. Like that's something I know genuinely so little about. So
Yeah.
that's I share that sentiment for sure. And gosh darn it, gold is just it gave a small opportunity to get short, and I
Oh,
missed
ran off
that
and
one as
left you.
well. Yeah.
that's
Jeez
that's two in a row that you
Louise.
missed by about 3 minutes just because we're jacking our
I'm
jaws.
in. Yeah. I was looking at it when it was at like 33.40, and I was like, well, maybe it'll give me another opportunity. It'll like bounce up again, and then it just like boom, and I was like, damn it. Now I'm
Yeah.
now I'm like $3 away from the nearest area where I'd want to put my stop, and I'd like to keep the risk to like 25-ish dollars per micro. So
Yeah.
that's what I would prefer. But yeah. So
Yeah. I've got kind of a little bit of slim pickings just because of already being in the euro and the pound. So yeah, I've
yeah.
got a handful of Aussie dollar alerts looking to try to short Aussie dollar, maybe Aussie dollar, US dollar, or yeah, a couple of these other ones I'm basically looking at. And I'm waiting on the DAX. I want to trade the
Mm.
German DAX too because I've been just eyeballing this lovely looking 4 hour demand zone that's hidden in a daily demand zone for Confluence. I've been eyeballing it for 3 weeks. The boys on the morning stream with me are picking on me for trying to marry the DAX because I've been talking about it nonstop. But yeah, fundamentally and sentimentally, it's given me an excellent bullish bias and just waiting, just sitting on my hands. Talk about being patient, waiting on a one specific market for 3+ weeks.
Yeah, no,
I'll
yeah, for
actually,
sure.
yeah, I'll show the chart of it here in a little bit. But yeah, it's by the way, it's funny, Paul. So we had about 45 minutes left this morning on our morning stream. It was probably about 6:30 or so. I told the guys I was going to hop up for a second, run to the restroom for a couple minutes, and so I ran into the bathroom, and Michael said okay, and then Richard right after said cool, cool. Well, when I was in the restroom, I heard somebody talking in my room, and I came back out to my top, and I asked the guys because they were laughing, they were checking. I'm like, was that my laptop? And they said, yeah, it sounded like you have an Alexa device that was talking or something. And I said, well, I don't have like a Google Home device. So anyway, it had came on when they started talking, and so I played it back after the stream was over to see what was said, and it was that Michael and Richard said, "Okay, cool, cool." So it thought it heard "Okay, Google."
Oh my gosh. Oh
Home,
my
yeah.
goodness.
And
It's
I played
even
it 2 or 3 times in a row, and it's still that's me. How can okay. You can stop. You can stop. See, there it goes again. But it was just hysterical that happened.
dude, that is so funny. Like the same thing happened to Sam today, but with the Apple version that I will not say their name because I don't want it to happen to me too here.
Oh, okay.
But the same, he said a word similar to the name of the Apple version, and
Yeah.
it did the same thing. He was like, "Stop, stop!" It just started shouting at him, and
All right.
it's so
Twice in one
funny,
day
man.
in the company. How about
Yeah,
that?
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I was just looking at, I just actually switched my account to the practice account real quick because I was like, you know what? I need to look at the NKD, like the Nikkei futures, and see like what the specs are on it and how it's
Yeah.
trading right now too. Um, the minimum tick fluctuation is $25. So I think even in a practice account, I'm going to stay away from that
25
because
bucks
there's
per tick. Wow.
yeah. So I'm going to just stay away from that sucker. Look at maybe the Euro USD now, and see if I can't create a TPO chart for it really quick. 6E.
Because do you normally do like the $5 per tick or $1 per tick? Isn't that what you do or prefer?
Usually it's $1 per tick, or the
Oh,
micros that I trade are $1 per tick, or the Dow is 50 cents per tick. But the Dow moves
oh wow.
a lot more
Okay.
points. But the Dow is twice as large in terms of points as like the Nasdaq. So when the Dow moves 100 points, the Nasdaq will maybe move like 60 points or something. So it's just
Mhm.
it's just different. So looks like I cannot create a TPO chart on the euro at the moment. Dang it.
So it sounds like it'd be the equivalence of playing a 50-cent slot machine versus a dollar slot machine or $5 slot machine. at the casino.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's like yeah, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly.
That's
So
the way my
the,
brain,
the, the
way my.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, I can see that for sure. Yeah. Um, I'm going to quickly try and make this TPO chart thing. Actually, I can do it. It's just going to take me like a couple minutes. But if there is
Yeah,
anything you want to share, we can share
sure.
that now. And then, yeah, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, back in, swap me over here real quick. We will take a quick peeky. Yep. So there's my aforementioned magnet trying to suck price up. It almost got to my 1-to-1 earlier today, but it didn't quite get there. Of course, I think that was probably when I was sleeping anyway. Yeah. So it kind of came crashing back down. This is the euro pound, of course. But yeah, as
Mm,
soon as the market swapped over intraday sessions, it just been going pretty well up ever since. So liking that. But yeah, when it comes to this euro pound pair, my top setups, it's showing. Yeah, it's still showing. Obviously, we had the euro trade deal. The euro between these two currencies is the strongest pair between like the retail positioning, the seasonality, the GDP, the SPMI, which is the services, let's see, retail sales, unemployment rate, and interest rate. So all that is in favor of the euro over the British pound.
mm,
So yeah, there's a couple. Well, I guess there are 4 reports kind of against it, but the bulk of them are in favor. I love the fact. The main reason I got into this trade beyond the fundamentals was because I did have this daily demand, of course, which is the yellow rectangle right there, last green candle down before a big move up, and then obviously got my confluence, which is my 4 hour demand zone within the daily, and a really nice strong move out. Um, that's old news over here. I'm gonna get rid of those. But yeah, really, what I was looking at just from a technical aspect was how price had kind of went sideways there for quite a while. Just kind of got in what I call the retail area, right? Which where it's just kind
mm,
of going sideways. So it's essentially fair value, right? When buyers and sellers agree on price, it creates kind of a fair value area like that. So the goal is obviously to look for demand and supply zones that are outside of fair value, which are more institutional. So that's essentially why I jumped into this zone here, because it was under fair value, which anytime you buy under fair value, it's cheaper. Same thing if you're trying to sell above value, that's obviously the best route to do it. Sell for the higher price, buy to cover for lower price later. But yeah, it just kind of bounced in there and got a pretty good candle coming out of it last night. I guess that would have been really when it started to move up around 11 p.m. Central. Just looking at it there on the 4 hour chart. Go back over to my hour. Yeah, that's really, and it was not too long after our session ended. So our session ended at 2200. So yeah, price was still down here in the zone when you and I were on stream last night, and then ever since
mm.
then it just kind of jumps. So the Asian session, helped me out. The Asian
Yeah.
session, that was just a straight move up, and then obviously the New York intraday session just kind of went sideways. So hopefully we can get another little spike up, for the Asian session tonight or after we're done. So we'll see. But either way, that's just a set and forget trade. Um, Once we break that green line, that'll be my 1-to-1 from my open to the stop loss. I just measured it to that point. So about 33 pips. Again, euro pound, that's one of the slower moving currency pairs. It only moves about 40 pips a day. So yeah, once I get to that level and get a close at that line or above, then I'll go ahead and move my stop loss to at least a cup of coffee, right? A tiny profit,
Mhm.
just so that it's a free trade for the rest of the way for the magnet to suck it on up. And then I've got to take profit in this area here. And as always, once price, as long as price does go in my favor, I'll start trailing my stop up. If it gets in this area, I'll likely just move my take profit above out of the way so I can at least give it a chance to break through this area, break through this resistance. But knowing that I'll have a nice tight stop loss behind it, to at least lock in as a good chunk of that. That's really the goal. So we'll see how that shakes out. Just going back on over here to my other chart. Oops, hit the wrong button. Just kind of going through, and I don't really. That's actually the fewest alerts I've had in a while, and that's well, really, because yesterday, before all the alerts or before all the economic reports came out, yeah, I only had one bullish bias currency pair, and that was the euro pound, of course. And then the British pound pairs were all bearish. But as soon as all those reports came out yesterday, and then the ones that came out today, it gave me a lot more trading opportunities. So I've now got looks like about 25 or so assets on my list. So basically gained about 10. Yeah.
Love to hear that.
More. But yeah, the common theme is I'm just basically looking to sell the pound, which I am currently, euro pound buy, right? And then sell the Aussie dollar. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out. So after all the reports came out, and euro obviously they had their really good unemployment rate number come out. The euro is now the strongest fundamental currency. So I'm going to try to copy and paste this real quick. Take a look at the economic surprise meter.
Yeah, that's interesting. It is. I mean, I know that the economic reports were good and everything, but it is just like given the landscape of what's going on, I don't know why I feel like that is odd.
So the New Zealand dollar was the strongest individual currency for the last 2-3 weeks. But look at the euro and look at the Swiss franc. They're now at 100%. 100% of their recent reports. So basically, the economic reports in the last month and a half. That's kind of the best way to look at that. Because on average, I mean, some of these reports we get are monthly, some are weekly, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Or some are quarterly. But this is looking at all those reports. So, euro. I was real happy when I saw that because that obviously helps me with my euro pound. And then the dollar, it's back over 62% now. I think it was at 54% yesterday before all yesterday's reports came out. So it's jumped about 20 points because it was in the 40s 2 weeks ago, down at like 42, 43, something like that. But that's it right there. I mean, any chance I get to buy the euro, which I'm currently in, maybe buy the Swiss franc, and then sell the Canada dollar, sell Aussie dollar, and the British pound because those are more neutral. It's not so much about selling the pound, the Canada dollar, or the Aussie dollar because of weakness. It's just that these other currencies are way stronger. So, but that's kind of the 30,000-foot macro look, if you will, that I like to look at with just the currencies isolated. And you can almost use that as a trade plan right there. I mean, it's pretty powerful. So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool to.
Well, what's interesting about like your fundamental analysis at the common thread, the interesting common thread between like your strategy, like how you go about picking your trades and how I go about picking my trades. They are fundamentally much different, but the thought is the same. Like you need, when you're seeing your fundamental data, it's like putting guardrails on what you can and can't trade essentially. And for me, when I'm looking at my TPO charts, it's putting guardrails on what I can and can't trade. And that's the end. Like that's just, and it's, it's just the same concept with, I do it with auction data. Looks like accidentally the Zoom, we got to join Zoom again.
We got to join Zoom? Oh, we do, don't we?
Yeah,
I just noticed
accidentally. I'm going to join now.
Yeah, it did the same thing to me. Let me look. All right, I'm going to go join. I got to go find my. I actually set sent the link, the meeting ID and face or password. I sent it to myself on Facebook, and that way I can easily copy and paste it each time.
Nice, nice.
Because in the Slack channel it gets buried.
Yeah, that's true. The truth. That is the truth. I have it memorized actually at this point, so I'm just, just
Oh, do
I
you?
just well, it's also like saved on my computer.
Yeah. There, get my audio back off.
Dang it, I'm
All
in the
right.
wrong account. Shoot. Well, I guess we'll just do this in my practice account here.
1
So,
second, everybody. We'll be back up and running here in a second. All right. So I'm back on Zoom, I believe. Yeah.
me as well. I will
All
share
right.
my screen.
All right, back in. If we're back to normal, yeah, if you don't mind, maybe toss my screen back up if it's so long as we're good to go.
Yeah, I
Hey, there we go.
in the practice account, so I was in my practice account for the sake of possibly trading the euro, and then I just like was looking
Mhm.
at the Nasdaq, and I was like, I kind of want to get long here, and then I got long, and I remembered that I was in my practice account. So unfortunately, this trade is not in my challenge account, but I mean it's whatever. I'll just
Yeah.
keep it on the practice account, and then if it works well, then boo hoo, I don't get some extra P&L. If it doesn't go my way, then great. And I'll look to
Yeah.
start trading the euro, honestly, because I think I missed out on gold tonight. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately,
It
this is
happens.
looking good.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, just kind of going back to where I'm at with my alert or with my biases. Yeah, still all the pound pairs I'm selling, which I have to ignore the other 6 or 7 of those because I'm already in a pound. Um, Nasdaq is still the strongest. It's a score of 11.
Mm.
So that right there would make sense why you said Troy was wishing he had more, right? More shorts. Well, you have all the economics. You have all the technical. You have all the economic data positive. So it's hard to sell into mentally it's hard to sell into strength. So, but I know he's more short. You guys are obviously short term,
Mm.
technical type scalpers, right? So it doesn't really make that much a difference, I don't think. But anyway, yeah. So Nasdaq, I got U.S. oil at 9, S&P at 9, DAX in Germany at 8, Dow at 6, and the Nikkei came back onto my list. It's a 5. So those are my bullish indices, and then obviously oil there. And I still have, the euro pound at 6, which I'm in. But I got the dollar Canada dollar and the dollar Japanese yen at a 6. So that's really what I'm more interested in at the moment is either the dollar Japanese yen or the dollar Canada dollar as far as trying to find a
Mm.
dollar. But yeah, I believe I just need a pullback. Yeah. So basically, I don't even have an alert on that either. So I need to put an alert because that's the zone that I'm after. At the let me take a look at the level here. Push that alert out till next Friday. But yeah, this is at the 148.19 level. Of course, I'm exact. I need to have it right on my proximal line. There we go. So yeah, so when I look at this, I see this kind of top in action. It kind of went sideways. It kind of based. It's more of a contraction box. That's buyers and sellers agreeing, right? So that's fair
Mm.
value. And it makes sense because if you look further back, it was a little bit of a previous resistance. And if you go even further back, you got another resistance point. So that resistance matches up perfect with that. I'm sorry, that former support matches up perfectly with that resistance point. And then you had price basing around that former resistance point and support point. So
Mm.
the way I see it is anywhere I can buy under that area, under fair value, gives me a discount. So I mean, I've really got this zone here. Oh, and then I've also got one a little further down. If I look, I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks on a 4 hour chart. If I were to maybe drop to a 2 hour chart, there we go. So that looks a lot better. So I'd probably wrap a rectangle around this one right here. So I really got two opportunities on this one. I've got that demand zone right there in the middle, which is about the 50% level. If I just go this swing low to this swing high, yeah, or actually just below. So it's between 50 and 61. I like that area. That's a pretty strong area. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably look to take a bite out of that apple. If price comes down relatively quick. And when I say relatively quick, I have, of course, mean over the next couple intraday sessions. But
Yeah.
yeah, see if we can get a bullish engulfing candle, get a candle with a wick. But most importantly, I got to have the volume. I got to have a volume spike. That's the last thing I look at. Like I look at structure, I look at trend, I look at am I high on the curve, am I low on the curve, and then obviously the shape, style, size of the supply and demand zones themselves. But yeah, all that can match up perfect. I can get a bullish engulfing candle, but if I don't have the volume, I'll stay out. It's got to
Yeah.
complete my puzzle. Volume is the breadth of all the moves we have. We have to have it. So it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, Paul. It is tough to have all my parameters hit and then just the volume just be piddly. I will
Yeah.
not.
No.
I won't give in.
Yeah,
I won't
can't
give in.
compromise on that. Can't compromise on that for sure. By the way, I decided to get out of the trade in my 50K account so that I could get into it in my
Yeah.
100K Prime Challenge account. So I'm in two
Okay.
contracts long on the NQ on the MNQ right now. Price
Okay.
isn't the best. It's at 23,323. It's closer to the top of the area. It's almost looks like a breakout kind of entry. Like I'm trying to play for the breakout, but I did leave
Mhm.
myself room for one more contract to get long before I have my own personally set full position of three contracts, and my stop is below the value area low of 2310. 23,310 is my value area low, so I have it at 23,309 essentially. I'll have
Oh,
to
right
move
on.
this one more
Well, I'll pass it
tick.
back to you here in just a moment. You can show us.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure.
I just wanted to look at one or two last alerts I've got. So Aussie dollar, that's another one I'm keeping an eye on. So yeah, when it comes to the U.S. dollar, I'll take either of the following. I'll either take an Aussie dollar short, a dollar Jap long, dollar CAD long. Like that's
Hmm.
really my three options involving the dollar. Now I have the pound dollar, which is the most bearish asset on here. It's -12, which is really strong, but again, I'm already in that euro pound, so I don't want to double up on the risk. Um, although it looks really nice. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've got a ways. I mean, this is my favorite zone clear up here because it's got that the daily and the hour, 4 hour confluence, and then on that one there, it's either a 1 or a 2 hour. But and then I was also kind of looking at this zone here. So this is one that used to be a demand zone and so a 4 hour demand within a daily. So I was essentially I left it up there, the shadow of it, because we had since gotten I believe a 30-minute supply zone, which coincides with where that former demand was. So kind of like a flip, kind of like
Hmm.
a former support meets resistance. So I just left that there just for context. But yeah, and it came up and
Yeah.
it missed it by a couple of pips, and then it just bottom fell out. So anyway, I'm gonna
Gotcha.
ignore it unless the euro pounds turns around and starts going sideways or something. Then I may look to close out of that, just jump into this one because it is actually stronger. It's a
Hmm.
much stronger signal. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Probably ignore it for now though. But yeah, I got the Aussie
Yeah.
dollar. I got the Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss is probably my favorite because remember I just showed that heat map, the economic surprise meter, and the Swiss franc's got 100% positivity. So I would love to possibly take advantage of that. sell the Aussie, buy the Swiss franc, and if that's the case, I've got a couple supply zones right here and right here, and then this whole entire area is like a retail madhouse, just sideways fair value ish area. Sell above, that's a better value for me. So that is probably the top setup I have at the moment, something like that.
All right.
But yeah, yeah, let's check out what you're doing, and if anything changes, I'll let you know. Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
see what you're
Yeah.
up to. So back
Yeah.
in,
For sure.
flip
The
on.
Nasdaq was trying to push up here at, all right. The Nasdaq is, it's looking like it wants to push and break its recent little high here, but it did reject this time. It rejected here with pretty decent volume. Um,
Mm,
wouldn't be surprised if we needed to. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, so the on the bid offer ladder, an offer kind of after a bunch of buyers like we're trying to push price up, an offer of 52 contracts, which is pretty decent on the overnight, popped in at 23,327. So right here at close to the high right there, and it
nice.
actually just got taken away now. So it just got taken away, and there is a bid that there
Psych.
was a 60 of right. It's like this is what was happening yesterday with gold, and there was a big bid being placed at 23,319, and now there's a big bid at 23,314. The 23,314 bid has been there actually for like a little over 10 minutes at this point, but um,
Mm-hmm.
so that was interesting. That was definitely interesting. I think buyers are going to try to give this a go again one more time since that big offer disappeared close to the top. Buyers might try to, push this up again. Um, but yeah, I think if we are able to break this, I'm really liking my stop or my profit target area. I'm liking it a lot, honestly. I think over the next 5 to 10 minutes, it would be able to run if it's able to get up there, but it's fighting so hard right now. Very low volume on the selling in the last 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
Oh, big
Oh, there
volume
you
right
go.
there. Okay, so it's trying to get to that bid. I think all the bids just dropped
Mm,
out essentially for that to see if that liquidity at 23,314 would hold up. It didn't even make
wow.
it, and then it immediately spiked back up, which is hilarious. Um, and it didn't even spike up on good volume. Like that buy volume was so little to get it back up to
Yeah.
23,323 there. Believe it or not. I'm just looking at the 1 minute candles. Yeah, we can see the volume right here. Um,
Stop
interestingly
loss at
enough,
23309.
yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah, exactly. And that isn't just an area because it's like that's not some random area that I'm just putting it there because it's below this like wick. That's genuinely the value area low. Below
Yeah.
that's 4 ticks below value area low on the previous days or on this past regular trading hour session
Okay.
auction. So it's like this is as relatively speaking is as decent of a setup as I can do, I think, in the overnight, given market profile and current
Yeah.
trend in the overnights, to be quite honest. So, uh, definitely, I definitely. Okay, so we just had like an inside candle on the 1 minute chart there, like here, this like inside price action here. On the buy
Yeah.
volume ended up being pretty decent, so let's see if I'm really banking on some buyers stepping in now. Um, because sellers weren't even capable of getting down to that liquidity area of 23,314. I think that was like a sign of weakness, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Well,
Come on, push up.
the result that, oh, there you go. The effort on that last blue bar down, the volume was, the candle was a lot bigger than that candle, two candles previous, but with less
Yeah.
volume, right? So yeah, I
Hey,
definitely see the same thing. It just kind of,
yep.
the effort didn't match the result, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So
I think you hit that on the head, and I want to pound the desk to get Nasdaq to go up here. Come on, get it to at least get to. I want to see it get to
yeah,
23,350. That's where I really want to see. So
you
let's
got to
see it
put
get
the
there. That's
fan. You got to put the fan emoji underneath, pointing up. All right.
Now we're gonna go with the We're gonna go with the tried and true spaceship. Get in your spaceship and go off. Go off to your planet. Whatever planet you need to go to, just get in there and go. Oh man, come on.
Just a matter of
And then,
chat button.
and I guess for a little bit more, I guess for a picture of consolidation here, you can kind of see on the 5 minute here this like consolidation occurring. Would be nice to see. I think I'm going to stick on the 5 minute chart now. Just let this sucker play out on the 5 minute, and yeah, that's interesting. This like 5 minute period here on decent volume, but like it was like indecisive. Like sellers just couldn't
Yeah.
do what they wanted to do. So looks like it's setting up well here. I mean, I'm
Yeah, sure
relatively
is.
happy with this. Um, if
So somebody in the chat, the trader guy, New Zealand dollar short would work also. Same trade as Aussie dollar, essentially. Yeah, got to say, I kind of agree with you on that. My only thing with the comparison of the two is I do show the New Zealand dollar as, let me see here. It's given me a bearish bias, but not as bearish as the Aussie dollar or the pound dollar. So that would probably be my third out of three, favorite, if that makes sense. Just because I've got just a little more bearishness with the Aussie dollar and a lot with the pound dollar. So yeah, for that reason alone, I'd probably take either one of those, Aussie dollar or New Zealand dollar, but I just would prefer Aussie dollar because it actually broke through a 4 hour demand zone underneath. So that tells me that the price action above that before it broke through, pretty strong. Because anytime you can have price break through a pretty good looking zone, then that means that it originated from a place of strength. So, um,
yeah,
yeah, still quite a ways away, probably 100 pips, but yeah, no, I like your thinking on that. I'd sell that
real
one as
quick.
well.
Real
Yeah,
quick, I want to apologize to the chat. Honestly, I my what for whatever reason, the chat doesn't like update sometimes, and I have to get out of the stream and get back in, and then I see these
you
flurry
know,
of comments.
yeah.
So
Sometimes I just refresh the YouTube thing, just hit the refresh button.
yeah.
And
So that's what I'll
it'll,
be doing from now on. I'll
yeah,
just be refreshing it every once in a bit here. Buyers are kind of failing here, but Investigenics, I will give crude oil a little look once this trade uh, either goes in my favor or goes against me. Crude oil is usually kind of tough at night, to be quite honest, when I've been looking at it in the quiet market session. But we
mm-hmm.
will give it a look regardless at some point. I am not liking the look of this order flow here at the moment.
Kind of dying out a little, isn't
Um,
it?
yeah, the volume is just drying up significantly. Um,
Yeah,
but there's a little bit of buying happening. So I just kind of got sucked into the order flow there for a second. But in the chat, yeah, let it be 7. Good to see you, Trader Guy. Great to see you. Sorry, just we missed all these for the last like 30 minutes. There's a poll and everything. I voted in the poll myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely look at some of these for sure. I mean, it looks like a lot of stuff that Tiger can definitely pull up some charts on and look at. But come on, let's have this
Yeah.
Nasdaq trade just do some work here, and then I can be up some $100+ and then we can just look at a bunch of Forex stuff easily. No worries.
Poke it with a stick. Do something. Do something.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Yep. I'm trying to find some stuff myself.
This has got to be it. This next the next 4 minutes, I think, is the prime time for breakout. Come on, breakouts.
No.
Would love to see this. Come on.
ET, go to home.
I like that.
Go
I like
homie.
that better.
Go up to your spaceship.
Zach.
Dollar Jap. Yeah. The common theme. I need some pullbacks on some of these assets I'm following. Need a cheaper price. I mean, I might have one on Aussie dollar, but even that one's about 30 pips away. So,
yeah,
I think, yeah. Well, it's a good problem to have. It's nice when you're in a trade that's halfway decently profitable and you can't find something. It's like, well, at least I got a nice one going. Not as big of a hurry to get into a trade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I typically just do one trade at a time anyway, but a few weeks ago, I actually had one day where I had 3 trades open. And like, it's kind of rare that I have 2 open in a day, but especially 3. I had 3 going, but like, whoa, this is fun.
Yeah. You're looking at you're just constantly looking at stuff.
Like, I don't know. For you, like with the way you trade, obviously you're in and out quick. I mean, do you just focus on one trade at a time, or do you ever have 2 or 3 open at the same time?
I have had more than one trade on at a time. I've had as 2 trades on at a time. I've never had more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, sorry. I just am getting sucked in again because this breakout's not looking like it's not looking like it has the legs that I want it to. But come on, all right. The S&P is turning up, which makes sense. The Dow is also turning up a little bit. The Nasdaq is just having a little bit harder of a time, but I think we're gonna be good. I believe so. But I have had 2 on. I've had 3. I've had 3 trades on before. I've had a Nasdaq, a Dow, an S&P 500, and a gold trade on before. That's as much as I've ever had, and that was way too much, to be quite honest. I
was gonna say.
I told myself I'd never do that again. I'm spreading my mental capital too thin when I'm doing that. So, and there's too much to pay attention to, especially with how I trade. There's just too much to pay attention to. I can't be flipped. Even with 5 screens, it's difficult. So
yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, dang it, man! Just break out. Just go.
We got something going on here on the chat. Look at that. Chat. Okay. Well, look, it looks like we are going to have a giveaway today. How about that? Going to have
All
a
right.
giveaway during our session. So we got 45 minutes, so let's get this out. So looks like we're going to be passing out a $50,000 account, challenge account. Okay, so yeah, we just had that brought to our attention. So this is for anybody that obviously hasn't won an account, right? Just make sure to go and subscribe to the YouTube and Instagram handles of Hola Prime TV, which is the channel you're on now. Also, the Hola Prime Global channel. We've got two different channels. Okay, this one's a fairly new channel that we've got that we're on stream with you now. But go like and subscribe to those ones, and then comment on this live session, and then make sure your email is in your YouTube bio so we can contact you. That's the most important thing. We've literally had to turn winners away before because we didn't have an email in their YouTube bio. So if you haven't, please do go make sure and update that. And then just let us know in the chat. Hey, let us know. Let us know your why. Let us know why we should pick you, right? Trading isn't the end all be all. It's just the vehicle to help you get to your end all be all. So let us know what your passion is. Why do you want a trading account? Right? What are your goals? Just give us something like that so that we know you're around. So yeah, go
Yeah.
do that. Like, share, subscribe, and then just let us know because we'll be picking somebody. It looks like here by the top of the hour. Anything to add to that,
Beautiful.
Paul?
No, I think that's it. Just as long as you're not a past winner or you haven't won an account in the past, we will. We're giving away challenge accounts to new traders with Ola Prime. So as long as yeah, that's the case, and you are eligible to win a challenge account. So
Yeah.
we are excited.
Heck yeah. We've been passing them out like hotcakes. I think today might be the last day. Is that right? Last I heard was like through the end of the month. I don't know. Don't take my word on that, but
Yeah,
I would just say take advantage of this one if you haven't won yet.
for
So,
for sure, for sure. All right, so we're seeing a little bit of a pullback after slightly breaking those highs, ever so slightly by I don't even know 15 ticks or so. And
mm-hmm.
now what I'm looking at is on the 1 minute. If we look at the 1 minute, what I'm looking at is to stay above this. I would really like for it to bounce at this 50 period EMA. That's what I want to see. I want to see buyers come in roughly like right about here and be able to hold up. If not, I'm just gonna have to bank on the liquidity down at 2314 being very solid support, which is 4 points above the value area low that I've mentioned now like too many times probably, and all of you are sick of hearing me talk about it. So I'll
Never,
so yeah. So
never,
let's go.
never,
Come
my
on.
friend.
I will say the hardest part about quiet markets is the getting used to the amount of time in which you're in a trade. I've now
Mm-hmm.
been in this trade. I've been in this trade now for like close to 30 minutes at this point. And the thing is like it's just tough to be in trades for that when you're like an intraday, like shorter term trader, and you're in trades for like 30 minutes, an hour and a half. I've been in trades as long as like a couple hours before, but
Mm-hmm.
with a product like the Nasdaq and in an overnight session, for some reason it add like the thought of volatility just adds to a little bit of the the possible anxiety of holding on longer and longer because there's like there could be any moment where just volume kicks in and causes something to happen, but it looks like buyers are having a tough time right now. Part of me wants to just
Yeah.
take this break even, but the uptrend is still there and everything. It's having a hard time. It was
No,
looking
and that
pretty
was the
good.
which one was that? The gold ticker? I can't remember what that was.
Oh, this
The gold.
NQ. NQ.
Oh, NQ. I'm sorry. Well,
No, no, yeah, you're good.
for what it's worth, it's the strongest one I've got on my sit-ups. Yeah. The only thing that's going
Yeah,
against my bullish is the PCE and the interest rate. That's it. Other than that, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 10 blue scores, meaning individual reports, right? The PMIs, the
right.
CPI, unemployment, all that stuff. Yeah.
I'd feel more comfortable if I was able to execute this one a little bit better because you can tell like my execution range is like literally in the middle of this consolidation area. It wasn't the greatest execution.
Yeah.
I would have preferred like an average price of like 23,318 ish. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
ideal. Risk about 9 points, 9 to 10 points instead of risking 14. Um, but
Are you
but
saying you're diddling
I
in the
mean,
middle?
yeah, and I don't like doing that, and I don't enjoy doing that. That's for sure. So but I took it anyway. I'll live with the decision here. If I really wanted to, and I didn't feel comfortable enough, I could always just take this off for literally, essentially, a scratch trade. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but I'm feeling relatively bullish here. So
Give you a bounce off the 50, huh? All right, now hit it and bounce. Get you a wick.
I would love to see
Get you a
it.
wick. That would be nice.
Where is 14? So 14. Let's just put a line here real quick. That's where 107 contracts of liquidity is at, right at that blue line that I just put. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I'll just
For,
mark that
for
area for
bid.
the sake of everybody being aware of where that liquidity I've mentioned is for some reason, or you can consider it possible support. So
Where's your wick
and
handle?
that order, yeah, that and on decent volume too. So I'll take that.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Well, I called
Feels
it.
good.
I
You
said, let's
did. I
get you a wick.
mean,
Let's get you a wick right on that 50. Hell, maybe
please
I
call
should
more.
get into futures.
I think so. I think so. I mean, if you want to call like if there's any chance you want to call on like the 5 minute, maybe like the next 5 minute candle, like just a huge engulfing candle or something like that, or I don't even, or not even
Mhm.
engulfing, but just maybe a 30 point candle. Would love that if you could just put that out to the ether, maybe.
There, it's on its way. 5 minute engulfing with the volume spike.
Gosh.
Let's take a
Yeah,
look
the
here.
trader guy. Nvidia is 14% of the Nasdaq now. That's what mattered. No, I'm 100% there with you, my friend. I agree, totally. And given the earnings we had last night and the earnings we had this afternoon with some of the tech stocks, you know, uh, the Nasdaq. I mean, selling off today. I guess people took a little bit of just. I don't even know if it, like obviously today 1.5% down on the Nasdaq, bearish obviously, but
Mhm.
I feel like generally speaking compared to like what we saw in April, super tame in comparison to what we were seeing in April where we were selling off like 5% in one day, like 7% another day, 5% another day. So wouldn't be surprised if there were some people that treated this as a dip buy opportunity. But at the same time, we have the tariff stuff going on tomorrow. So
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah,
But then
it's true.
also, but then also, like the other day, we had Trump or no, it was Besant, I think, saying like how uh, the U.S. wants China to be buying chips from us. So whereas
Mhm.
previously, we had all those restrictions on like selling China chips and everything and all that stuff and whatever. So I don't know, maybe they're getting a little bit uh, lenient. Maybe they'll be a little bit lenient on that and allow for Nvidia to sell even more to China, or lax the restriction. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you guys have some thoughts on that. 25 days in a row with a less than 1% move. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree for sure. All right, we're turning up again. Let's go.
Just a reminder, everybody, check your emails and your YouTube bios. We got to have an email. I think we've already kind of been looking around. So if you have not updated your email in your bio, please do so ASAP. We'll be doing that drawing at the top of the hour. So right before we end, about 30 minutes, I'm assuming. Yeah, right at
Yeah,
the end. So check your bios, and that'll improve your chances of winning. 50K account.
yeah, yeah. And just in case, if you don't know how to do that, you go into your channel. So you click to your channel. There's a button on your channel that says customize channel. Click that. Scroll down. There's a thing that says description. That's your bio. Put your email in that. Just throw that sucker in there and
There you
save, and
go.
you're good to go. So,
Right.
all right,
Get you
come
one on
on,
that.
let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
see, what's my trade looking like?
Go, go, go.
Yeah, mine's been on a kind of a
Um,
sideways path all day. Let me see here. Since about the middle of our show. Uh,
all right. As soon as I got to 1 to 1 there, or oh man, that was the worst fill ever. Oh no, that was a
oh yeah, where
terrible
did
fill.
it?
I was I was at like $30 a contract, and then it spiked down like 3 points or something, and so I would
uh-huh.
have gotten like
Uh,
I should have gotten somewhere around like $26 on the first one, and then I was moving my other one up to break even. But it's fine. It's whatever. I mean, what are you going to do? But I'm going to let the other one go, and let's see if we can't um, get up to the 23,350 area. That would be very, very anticlimactic if I get stopped out on this second contract after getting out on my first contract, kind of getting oh my goodness, the spiking, all of us, or the wicking is getting a little intense. Shoot. Come on, Nasdaq. Don't do this. Just,
Don't do him like that.
I mean, you gypped me out of 12 ticks there on that market order, I guess. And the only reason that I don't have separate target or profit target levels is simply because like you can't split them unless you do it manually. I could click out of the two, like, so I have the OCO bracket orders on right now. Jeez
Mm-hmm.
Louise, it might stop me out here. I do actually need to move this like one more tick down.
Just real quick, it
But
looks like we're going to announce the winner here in 15 minutes. So it'll be about 9:45 Central Standard Time. Of course, I'm here in Kansas. Mr. Paul's over in Florida, enjoying the Florida evening. So yeah, but that's the time. It'll be 9:45 Central, 10:45 Eastern. So we'll be doing that. So definitely get your bios updated if you haven't already with your email, and we will pick a lucky winner.
I can't believe it's already 10:30. My goodness.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
What time do you normally get up in the mornings? Well, I guess you don't.
Usually like eight. No, come on.
Oh, what
Jeez
the heck?
Louise. What an anticlimactic trade. Like, jeez Louise, man. I just, it was, I mean, I had my second contract at break even. Which is fine. It's just, that first, I might get back in at some point if I get a better price here. That big wick at the top there did feel like some sort of exhaustion just occurred for the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So um, maybe we'll
Like you
see a
wanted
little
to
bit
what?
more support and I can get in again. But on the 1 minute, we're testing that 50 period EMA again.
Yep, there you go. Let's get you
And
another wick.
I am,
You had a
for
tiny
some reason,
Go ahead.
I'm feeling like a little, this is like going to start failing possibly. But
The,
whoa, geez, sorry, the order, the ladder right now, the offers just jumped like crazy. I think I might get the order, the offer lots just like started jumping, and that like almost gave me a seizure. Honestly, it was ridiculous. That was absurd. The color, just the red and the orange and the blue that I was seeing and everything from these orders changing. But yeah, things are looking a little less great, I must say. A lot of buyers got trapped
yeah,
kind of towards the top there at that 23.35 area, where it literally in 1 second it went from 23.36 to 23.315. That's how I got messed up on my market order. uh, I bet you I got out clear. Actually, we can see the orders here. I got out like 1 point away from the bottom of that at 23.33275. So terrible fill, but
three,
whatever.
three, two.
Whatever.
Well, it happens. It happens. Just real quick, I wanted to mention tomorrow's calendar. Euro. Let's see. So 4 a.m. Central Time, we do have the CPI flash data. It's more of an orange folder event, right? So not quite high impact, more medium impact. But the main impact tomorrow is going to be 7:30 Central Time. We do have the U.S. dollar, some average hourly earnings, some non-farm employment change, and the unemployment numbers that comes out pretty much every single week, right about the same time, right? So, and then the dollar
Mhm.
PMI data, the manufacturing sector, that'll be at 9 o'clock Central. So, yeah, just looking at this, it looks like they're projecting hourly earnings to be bumping up by 0.1%. So that'll be a good sign as long as it meets expectations. Non-farm employment change is employment change. Okay, so it's actually projected to go down. They had 147,000 the previous report. They're projecting 106,000. So that'd be a
Mhm.
yeah, it'd be a slight negative on that. But unemployment rate, yeah, they're projecting to go from 4.1% to up to 4.2%. So 0.1% bump. So that would obviously be a negative as well. So as always, these economists are just like meteorologists. They're quite often wrong. It's just how much are they going to be wrong by? Wrong to the upside,
Uh,
wrong to the downside. Nobody knows. But yeah, that'll be 7:30 a.m. Central Time, and then
I
9
think
a.m.
I
for
want to
the main.
steal that. I'm
What's
going to
that?
steal that from you. I'm going to steal that from
Yeah,
you. The these economists are like the
like
weathermen. That's
meteorology.
literally that's such a perfect. I've never heard anybody say that, and I've never heard
It
anything
just
so
came
perfect.
off
To
the
be
top of
quite
my
honest.
head. I'd like to credit somebody to that, but it actually just came out of my head.
You got to credit that big brain of yours. That's what you got to credit.
Got to
That's
credit to
awesome. That's
myself,
so
I
good.
guess. I come up with something clever once in a while.
That's funny, man.
It's that Tennessee hillbilly mixed with Kansas is what it is.
Dude, I thought it like I brought it up to my wife at one point about like if we did want to move anywhere outside of Florida, where we want to move, and like Tennessee being one of those possible destinations. We do like Tennessee. We do enjoy Tennessee.
I love it.
Maybe one day, who knows?
Let me see here.
Uh, Oh,
Charter
so
Z
I
says
I'm sorry.
meteorologists make
Sorry, you go.
less mistakes. Yeah, I agree. Charter says meteorologists make less mistakes for sure. So, yeah, that's not setting the bar very high, but no, I definitely like what you said there. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny, and I agree too. We give the meteorologists flack, all the time, but I mean, we don't mind it too much. Economists, man, I don't know what they're doing half the time. To be quite, they're too ridiculous. So
The only two professions that get paid a lot of money and are wrong a lot, but they keep getting paid.
isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh,
Like if
man.
we made those types of mistakes in any other job, whatever it is, warehousing, sales, it doesn't matter. Uh, yeah,
Mhm.
you ain't gonna you're gonna be gone. You're gonna be gone fairly quick. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Let's see.
dang it.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty well at a standstill for this session anyway. Yeah, like I say, everything else
The
is.
end.
I mean, I've got a few that are kind of close, but not close enough that they're going to hit anytime on this stream. But yeah, it's just all about euro pound, man. I'm just going to keep monitoring it, just waiting for it to get up to a little higher than a 1-to-1, maybe a 1.5-to-1. Once it does that, then
Mhm.
definitely going to put it to break even. It's come close a
Yeah.
time or two, but just not quite there yet. So that's pretty much the story of my
Well,
night. And get ready for tomorrow's U.S. data.
yes, yes, for sure, for sure. I'm excited for tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be another fun day of trading. To be quite honest,
Yeah.
and just a last update, I think, on this Nasdaq situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see here, but we sold off and like we're really selling off there, and
Mm-hmm.
then just for everybody to see or I guess just to update the final part of this, that big bid that I had down here on the blue line, that 23,314.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As soon as we got to this last bearish candle, this like indecision, these two indecision 1 minute candles here, when we got to that point, the bid disappeared, and then it just rallied. So I think what happened is the bid got taken off, and then they just market ordered. Uh, like 100 contracts essentially and drove everything up. And now
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this made a little bit of a move here. I am contemplating getting long and having a super tight stop, but with the NQ, that's so hard to just get away with. It's so hard.
Yeah. No, yeah. I guess the 50 finally failed on you, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it did, and I guess it depends on. And this is the
Lower
problem.
low, too. Yeah.
If
Lower
you
low.
look at the 5 minute chart, the 50 on the 5 minute chart is
Wow.
23,316, right where it bounced off
Yeah.
of
So
too.
it
So
still looks good there. Yeah.
when the 1 minute fails, you look at the 5 minute, and
Right.
I actually just got long. I just got long one.
Higher,
I'm gonna
higher the
get
time
long just
frame, the
one.
better the probabilities. Huh?
Yeah, I simply just got long one for the sake, and it's a small stop loss here. If I
Mm-hmm.
get wicked out, I'll basically be even on the day. I mean, I'll be up $8, like whatever. I'm only up 19 anyway on the day.
Buy
So,
you a cup of coffee at
uh,
Starbucks for that.
hey, thank you for the words of encouragement. I appreciate that. That's makes me feel
Your morning
better about
treats
my
for
little.
tomorrow.
So
Just looking.
we'll.
I was just looking at the news. It looks like Trump hikes tariffs on Canada to 35%, announces rates from 10 to 40% for dozens of countries. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day with a lot of these other tariffs. Now, I know he did push some of these out, right? He did push. I think Mexico he pushed
Mexico.
out further out. 7 days.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Last minute catch, as nearly all of these new rates, except for Canada's, will not go into effect for 7 days instead of a midnight Friday deadline Trump had previously set. So let's see here. We got 35% on Canada, and that's up from 25%, which it currently is, as well as rates above 30% on nations from South Africa to Switzerland. Sorry, Coach Richard. He's down here in South Africa. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I think that's.
Go.
Oh, here we go. Actually, let's just do this. I might be able to copy and paste that. Oh, never mind. That's not a big deal. So modified July rate, April 2nd announce rate. Yeah, so the euro, they had their deal, so that's actually down. Yeah,
That's
just be careful. It really doesn't matter, right? As far as tomorrow goes. I mean, obviously we got some U.S. data. We got these tariffs going into effect for some countries. Yeah, could be some whipsaw action. What do you think?
I think so. I agree. I think especially depending on what this overnight looks like, I think we have a chance at really. Dang. All right. I just got taken out for. I moved it up to break even as soon as there was that huge bullish, not huge bullish candle, but 8-point
Yeah.
bullish candle there, and then I just moved it up to break even for the sake of not wanting to deal with this trade anymore. And of course, I got way too tight with it, and I wouldn't be surprised if this tries to take out the liquidity up top. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit too the way that it's just wicking 3 or 4 ticks at a time on my order flow. Just randomly, it's getting me a little bit antsy here at the top of this range. Like, it looks bullish, or generally speaking, the volume was good and it's decent, but I feel like at any time something like what we just saw 10 minutes ago, or I should say 15 minutes ago, could occur. and then it's just gone. So I'll just take it. $20 on the night, whatever. Not a big deal. So not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sitting pretty good on my other brokerage account. I'm sitting about $516 unrealized with the euro pound. That was one of those trades I liked so well, I put it on all my accounts.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Somebody posted earlier. What did they post? I think that was you, trader guy. Yeah, I just realized that. So you put Aussie New Zealand dollar as a great way to choose between the two. Yeah, absolutely. If that's a good way of looking at some confluence. I wanted to point that out because, in fact, Aussie New Zealand dollar is actually a pair I'm looking at myself to possibly trade. The only thing I dislike about it is it's kind of like the euro pound, which I'm in a trade, so I can't really say anything, but it's just kind of a slower mover. Moves about 40 pips. Yeah, because we were talking about Aussie dollar or the New Zealand dollar, which one to short, right? Well, I'll short whichever one. I prefer the Aussie dollar because of the strongest bearishness, but yeah, if Aussie New Zealand dollar is going up, well then yeah, sell the New Zealand dollar. If Aussie New Zealand down is going down, sell the Aussie dollar. So I think that's what you meant, trader guy. But yeah, it's a good way to kind of look at some confluence there. So help with the decisions. Just like looking at the indices and looking for resistance there. What's that?
I feel like a junkie right now. I just want to keep getting long this NASDAQ until it breaks out, but it is taking every ounce of me to just stay away. And I joke, of course, but I do. It's unfortunately, it's like, I want to make more trades for the viewers and you guys to see some action here and everything. And I want to be in trades more often than not, because I have more of that opportunity on unlike Tiger here on the futures. Tiger's got some good setups at times that pop up in the quiet market session, but I think there's just a little bit more opportunity for me on these faster moving futures. So I try to be in trades for you guys, but sometimes gets a little weird on on the illiquidity
The
and
first
whatnot.
step,
And
the first step to healing is admitting you're a junkie.
uh,
You know what?
that's
And I
so
used to
good.
be bad about that too, man. I used to get into every little supply and demand zone trade I could find, and uh, man, it's just because of the adrenaline or the action, just being in action, right? So, but man, that's been a big thing I've overcome, and now it's almost like I've went so extreme. I've made it ridiculous because again, I only have one, maybe two good setups a week. Usually about one. That's it. I have so many other supply and demand zones I ignore, but I've just figured out how to not be a junkie like I used to be, and just pick that absolute A plus setup and just go with it. So right on.
Right.
Well,
And and that's the thing is like in the overnight sessions, I don't feel like there aren't necessarily A plus setups. I feel like in the overnight because there's only so much volume analysis you can do in the
mm-hmm.
overnights. It's just odd. It's something else I have to get used to. I have to understand the volume in the overnight, just like I do within the regular trading hour sessions. And eventually I'll get there, and then I will have A plus setups because I'll understand how much volume is usually transacting at certain times
Yeah,
and yada yada yada. So
I love it.
I
I mean,
think,
I love it.
yeah,
Looks like we're gonna call out a winner.
yeah. Why don't you announce it off?
All right. Well, so everybody in the chat, looks like we do have a lucky winner, and the winner is going to be Charter Z. Charter Z,
Perfect.
come
Love
on now.
it.
You are the winner of the $50,000 account. Just make sure and keep an eye out for your inbox. All right. And you'll get sent instructions on how to set up your account, get it created, all that fun stuff. And then you can just start trading along with us. So, yeah, just stay with us. Check out these streams. I'm on Forex Fire every morning, 3 a.m. Central Time to 7:15 Central Time. Mr. Paul here, he plays around in the futures market. An hour and a half or so after I finish. What time is it you start that again,
Mhm.
Paul?
9:20
Your
a.m. So
9:20
Eastern.
a.m. Yeah, Eastern. So, and then of course we do the evening markets like this, right? We do the quiet markets at 8 o'clock Central to 10 o'clock Central. So, yeah,
Yeah.
just stay in touch with us. But good luck to you, my friend. All right, get that set up, and we'll be here for any thoughts or questions that you have going forward. Help you out with some setups and
Definitely.
such.
Definitely. And I know, I believe it was InvestedGenix wanted to look at crude earlier, and I was looking at crude for like a second, and then I got back into an NQ trade. So we can take a quick look at crude. I was looking at the 30-minute earlier a little bit, and I mean, I know I was looking at the daily. I've been looking at the daily on crude roughly, and I know we broke out of that 65 to 68 range, and roughly like $3 or $4 range for like 3 weeks of time, and then we got up to 70, 50, I guess here before doing a little bit of a retrace today. And the Nasdaq just broke out finally. Son of a gun. But yeah, so today was a little bit of a retrace. I believe it was about like $1 per barrel ish. So yeah, a little bit more than $1 per barrel technically if you're looking at around the close of yesterday as well. So yeah, it looks a little bit bearish. Like we're staying underneath the VWAP and the 50-period EMA and whatnot consistently here. If I look at the 5 minute on the overnight, the only problem is I don't have my market profile charts, so I don't have like really solid auction levels to go off of
Mhm.
for crude oil at the moment.